Hey, so this is my PowerPoint. I chose to do a PowerPoint presentation for the part two of my conflict resolve. So I'm just gonna explain as I go. So the debrief problem that we faced was lack of follow through. So this lack of follow through reflects poorly on behalf of the Human Resources Management Director, which is me, as well as the Benefit Administration, which is Georgia in this scenario. So in my scenario, I, the Benefits Director, gave Georgia information about new benefits to give to our supervisor. She did not give those to our supervisor, and I was scolded for that. So I had a conversation with Georgia, and now this is what the PowerPoint is about. So, with that problem, I felt like the solution would be to talk to Georgia. So, I talked to my employee. I wanted to get her side of things and see if there was anything that I needed to do to help her to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Georgia said that she felt like she was trained enough and that it was just an honest mistake that she looked over and didn't follow through with. And this was the first time this situation had happened, so there was no need for any kind of discipline or anything like that. Um, my approach to the meeting was to be kind and professional. I think that any kind of condescending manner would not reflect well or go over well in a meeting when an employee feels attacked. They're not going to have a good response to whatever you're saying. You really lose all of your credibility and respect for that from that employee. And I really wanted to make sure that she knew that she wasn't in trouble, that we just needed to talk about things adult to adult. So I wanted her to know that I'm here for her and want to do all I can to do, whether that be training or something else, to ensure she feels comfortable talking to me or the supervisor. What worked and what didn't, I think the conversation was effective. I think that in an actual real situational environment, a meeting probably would have lasted a little bit longer, but I think that as long as your meeting gets the point across, that length isn't so much of a factor, and plus you're taking time away from them doing their job. So as long as the meeting is effective and you say what you need to say, they say what they need to say, and you sign the documentation, then it's an effective meeting. So I did not want to discourage her at all. I wanted to respect her privacy, and I wanted her to know that if this did happen one time, it needs to be a one-time occurrence. My advice that I would give, my advice would be to enter the situation not in a condescending way, but in a professional manner that still gets the point across. When dealing with employees, you have to take into consideration all aspects that could have influenced that employee's ability to do the job that was asked of them. So that day, there could have been a lot of other things that she had going on that really clouded her mind for that day. There could be things going on at home, family, just a lot of aspects that we need to be respectful of and careful to approach, because that can also influence someone and how they work. So I wanted to be respectful and make sure that she knew that it's okay to make a mistake, but this does not need to become a routine. So I said that my employee just said that she had too much to do that day and it slipped her mind and she needed more notice in advance, which I'm going to take that into consideration also. And I would tell my employee to write down everything so that something doesn't slip their mind. So if Georgia might have written it down in a planner, she would have not left work that day until everything had been done. So I think that writing things down can keep you more organized, and in this scenario she should have written something down so that she would have checked it off her list along with other things she had to do that day. So some possible HR issues with my scenario is performance management and workplace conflict. So I think they kind of go slightly hand in hand. I'll tell you why. I think that the employees should be provided with a clear written job standard, and if they don't do that job standard, then they are entitled to a performance management workshop or something to make sure everyone is doing their job up to company standards. I think that a performance workshop or management review would be good for the company. I think that they should be done. Some places do them annually, some places do them yearly. Whenever situations, maybe this hadn't have been the first situation in my company, a performance management workshop would definitely be beneficial to the company and to review and make sure everyone's doing their job. And I think that'd be also good because of the workplace conflict that it caused. I know that this probably isn't the only workplace conflict that has happened in the company, so I think that conflict is definitely inevitable when you're working with a company or within a company, and I think that clearing up that conflict, handling it, moving forward is the best thing. And you definitely want to make sure that these conflicts aren't affecting someone's work or their ethic or their, how they view the company, because then you don't want employees to be disrespectful to the company or not give their all because they feel like the conflicts in the workplace are weighing heavy on them. So I think that I just wanted to talk to my employee about the situation so that we could clear up any of the conflict that we might have had. And also with my supervisor, there would have been conflict also with him scolding me over not having the report into him. I think that could cause some conflict also, so there might be a little bit of resentment, but that just means I need to work harder the next time, make sure everything is organized and in place for him to receive any kind of new benefit I have, new report, anything like that. So in my position, I will work on my workplace conflict because I want to minimize all conflicts in my workplace. So I think that all of them need to be handled properly and in a timely manner. The legal implications, I think that the biggest one in my situation would be confidentiality. So the meeting I had with Georgia should not be shared with anyone else. The things we discussed are between me and my administrator. So I think that confidentiality is a great way to keep respect within the company. I think people will talk to you more if they feel private and feel like they have, someone to go to, and especially as human resources, as being in charge of the human resources, I think that it's my job to make sure that these employees feel like they can come to me and not be condoned every time that they come. So I think confidentiality is a big legal implication that could be, if broken, could cause much legal trouble. I do not think that there's grounds to terminate this employee, considering that this is the first offense and considering the reasons she gave. I need to know the workload I'm putting on my employees also, and if there's something that needs to be done and they can't get it done, I should do it myself. I do not think that there should be any kind of termination because she did express how sorry she was and that it had just slipped her mind and that it was an honest mistake and we can all make mistakes. So I think that nothing should be done unless this becomes a routine thing. Then we can have another meeting, maybe talk to a supervisor, and then see if there's grounds to terminate. So here's my sources. I did a source from just about legal issues that you face in human resources, another one about the most common employment laws that every manager should know, and chapter 8 of point 3 of our textbook. Thank you.